Welcome to another instalment of the Global Sport in Colour Sports Magazine show in association with The Voice Newspaper. We're back in the original office. You may have noticed I'm here with Rodney Hines, sports editor of The Voice Newspaper, sports editor of The Voice Newspaper, big man. Rants and Bants. Rants, how do you describe yourself?
I don't. I let other people do that.
No,
do you know what I mean?
Okay,
so
that superstar-ish.
no, it's not even that. It's not even that. It's just it depends on who's asking.
Yeah,
you know
or
I mean?
what forum you're in.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, that's it.
Man of many talents.
Yeah, there you go. And we're with, last but not least, of course,
yeah,
Michael Facey, owner and proprietor of Nothing Long Sports, Nothing Long TV. And it's always nothing long, right?
Yeah, it's just
There you
nothing
go.
long.
Listen, guys, thanks for taking time out to come in this week. I've got a few things to talk about. I want to start with the football blacklist, Rodney, which went down very, very well. The 9th instalment of the football blacklist. The second one sponsored by the Premier League. Rants, you didn't get an invite, but I'm sure it will come in the post next year.
Should hope so.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, how did it go down? Before we cut to some of the footage and some of the interviews and things like that, how was it for you, Roger?
Yeah, I always gauge it really about those that do attend and how they leave, and everyone seemed to be quite happy. As I've said from the stage in the past, and I said the other day, it's really about the football community coming together, networking. That name that you only know courtesy of your email, you can actually meet them now, connect and grow. We are going to grow. We are going to grow without doubt. And the positivity in the room was just special.
Yeah, definitely.
And I wasn't sure whether we could pull it off in the same magical way, because don't forget, we talked about last year, it was actually March. We had so a few months later, we've done the same thing and gone to another level. So I'm happy as long as everyone else is happy.
But Face, you were there.
Yeah.
You know, what were the differences from the event earlier this year to maybe this time around, or just maybe the highlights for you?
You know what? It's the same thing we said when we were sitting in the office the other day. It's just special, and everything that happened that day, it just felt exactly the same, and then some again and again. It was good to see our colleagues like Yannick and Anton Ferdinand just passing through, and all the guys from the FA just doing their bits. Like I said, it was just the energy in the room is just special, and that event there, it's nice.
Yeah, no, I don't even think it scratched the surface in terms of what it could be. You know, in another 10, 12 years' time, it's going to be a normal standard fixture on the calendar. But I think it's going to be an exciting, event that's glitz and glamour. And like I said about Rants, I'm sure you'll be there next year,
Without doubt.
in some shape or form. Let's have a look at some of the interviews and conclude with the rap video which was provided.
Let's find out. Welcome to the Football Blacklist. What does it mean for you to be here tonight?
I'm here to support what's going on. It's sad that we're having to have these awards as a separate issue, but it's important that we all get behind it and support it. Leon's done a fantastic job in putting this together. Unfortunately, I missed last year, but I'm here tonight, and it's great to see some of my fellow professionals, people that I haven't seen for a long time, people that are still playing the game here and supporting and getting the recognition they deserve.
It means so much to be here tonight, because I know that the work that Leon and the guys have put in over the years, and Rodney and everyone is just, so behind, just promoting people who don't get promoted and people who deserve to be in the spotlight for all their efforts. Everyone works hard in the media industry. It's so important to recognise the labour of every single person, and certain groups get recognised more than others and some don't. So it's important to have people who are close to you who are going to promote what you do.
Yeah, that was the football blacklist, and like I said, a very, very, very important fixture on the calendar. One I'm sure that's going to grow and grow and grow, and everybody involved, I'm talking organisers, and the people that helped deliver the event on the day deserve a big round of applause and pat on the back. I'm excited for the future for you.
I'm excited for the whole football family.
In terms of England, because it obviously preceded the international fixtures, the football blacklist. Where do we start? We had two games, one against Germany, one against Brazil, both 0-0. I attended both. We all attended both. So let's start with you, Michael. Pros, cons. What did you see that kind of made you sit up and take note, or slump back in your chair in despair?
Yeah, as we said during the games and afterwards with our colleagues and friends, that game, both games, I think that England team for me is a well organised unit. Not great going forward, not great defensively, just a well organised unit, and those players understand their roles. The only thing that I feel is missing, because we know there's goal scorers on that pitch, is somebody to unlock the door.
Right.
There's no individual that just goes in there and unlocks it. They're a real well-drilled.
We ain't got a Hazard or someone like that.
They're just a good unit. That's from my point of view. Other than that, the game was just it was what it was.
Rance, where did we perform in those two games? Which
I ain't even gonna lie to you. I don't even have enough time to watch stuff that I want to watch. Do you know what I mean? So England ain't top of the priority. I'm gonna lie to you, man. But what I would say is, Southgate. I call him Sidegate, but Gareth is just like. I think he's underrated, like as a manager. I think that they don't give him enough respect because he was a crap player, innit? But honestly, he's a good manager, and what he does is, when you look at his teams, he picks balanced teams. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't pick the biggest names on the team sheet, and I think that that's a problem that England have had for years. So I think he'll get it right. I think they need to give him time. I mean, a lot of time. Like, at least give him 2 tournaments. The older players, get rid of them. Obviously, the Milners and that are dropping out. Like Henderson, oh Lord. Bruv, do you know what I'm saying? But he needs to stop persisting with Livermore, because I don't understand his obsession I don't understand his obsession with him and Townsend. Like, I don't understand it. However, the balance, and when you look, we've got 2 teams that have won World Cups like recently. So, and he likes to deal with young players. I think give him another 6 years, man, and I think that he can actually have them playing football, because he tries different formations, he experiments, and he plays the systems that the players are actually playing at their clubs, which is always good. England have always played a 4-4-2. What for? No one plays 4-4-2 in the Premier League anymore. So, like, dash that away. Do you know what I mean? I think he's shown flexibility. He's shown that he's willing to drop players, and I think just give Southgate time, bro. I think he'll do a good job.
How did you see it, mate?
Yeah, can't disagree with what Rance is saying there. Whether he gets 6 years, I doubt it, because obviously England managers come under the greatest pressure. 2 tournaments possibly. You talked about
that's 6 years.
The pros and cons. The pros and cons. They didn't get beaten. An experimental team did not get beaten against 2 of the top 10 teams of the world. So fantastic. I think, as Rance said, Gareth Southgate is an excellent coach. You know, a lot of those junior teams that have won World Cups, he's had his hands on that, basically, in terms of developing. So time could be useful for him to see what he can do with this current team. I like the experimenting, actually. Would you have seen a Loftus-Cheek, who's in a struggling Crystal Palace team, getting a chance under another manager? I doubt it.
No.
Because normally you've got to be at the top end of the Premier League to get your chance, right? So that's a plus. I just think we need someone to unlock a door.
Who's that person, Rodney? Who is it?
I mean,
who's going to do it for us?
We talk about the style and the charisma of the Premier League. We're lacking in those sort of players, if I'm honest. You know, Belgium have a Hazard. Denmark have got Eriksen.
I think the closest thing we got is Jack, man.
And I was going to say that. Still, a Jack Wilshere that cannot get into an Arsenal team is still arguably our door unlocker.
But Jack is a 10, bruv. Like, they keep trying to play him as a midfield destroyer, and that's not his position. If you play him further forward, he might not get you the goals, but the guy can pass a ball, mate.
And that's the reason he's suffered so much injury, because he's not a typical. You don't play him to defend. He's got to be going the other way.
Absolutely.
Maybe he sits next to an Eric Dyer or a man like that who can look after the shop and has got some legs. You have to have Jack Wilshere or a Harry Winks, depending on his development at Tottenham, right? In a very successful team that are going in the right direction. So there is still room for a Jack Wilshere.
I don't know how he figures in a 3-5-2. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I
don't know how he figures in a 3-5-2 because
he has to play in a 3-man midfield.
Yeah, but we know what we want. At least one of those midfielders to be doing.
No, because you've got Ali. Ali plays more like Lamps, where he runs in behind and he makes the third man runs and he gets in the box, but he's not really going to thread the balls in. So you don't have to worry about Dele. And then you need a destroyer here, which is Eric Dyer, and then you play Jack.
Yeah. See, it's funny because I see Ericsson. Sorry.
You're giving it away again, aren't you?
Tottenham. Yeah, because that's where Denmark played Ericsson. He doesn't play there for Tottenham. That's why he got the hat trick. But Dele Alli plays in that hole just behind the striker.
But your
And he plays there for
forward-thinking
England as well.
players for England could be Kane,
Yeah.
Ali, Wilshere, and they're all off a little bit off each other.
Wilshere can always come on in the second half. So they can play a system just to keep everything tidy in the first half and then bring them on to unlock the door.
I mean, the midfielders that we saw against the top teams, Germany and Brazil, not going to win us a World Cup. There's just not enough magic there. There's just not enough magic, and that's what I'm saying. There are still, for me, spaces up for grabs in on that plane journey to Russia
100%.
from an England viewpoint.
Rants particularly scathing of Livermore. I thought he played well in both games. I thought he made Loftus-Cheek look good in the first game, and I thought he held his own against Brazil in the second. He didn't get no plaudits for it, and there was a lot of stick. He takes a lot of stick on social networking, but I think he justified his inclusion.
I don't know.
Some people have got to be no frills.
I don't know when you've got an Eric Dyer that is as multifunctional as he is, where he fits in. Because there's someone better at that job for me doing that. And I respect anybody that puts a shirt on and gives it a go. But I think limitations come Russia when you're playing the big boys. And make no doubt about it, both Germany and Brazil will be better teams come next summer.
Absolutely,
Trust me.
man.
They ain't coming here to give you 100%.
Nah.
They've gone in there and they've done what they need to do.
They're experimenting.
Brazil wanted to win that game.
Yeah, they didn't, innit? But like, you see, the thing with football is a lot of people forget things. It's just like, for instance, Fabian Delph's playing at left back now under Pep, and everyone's like, "Oh, Delph, he's looking good at left back." Bro, remember, he's a crap centre mid, you know. Like, let's not get it twisted. Like, he's a crap centre mid,
But
so
he fits
into the system all right there. But he's still a central midfielder, and he's not good enough to play in his first position.
And the bottom line is, you're right with that, because Delph is only getting his chance because Mendy got injured early doors.
That's
and
it.
Mendy was flying. So it's Mendy one side for City, Walker the other. That was ideal.
And last season it was Victor Moses at Chelsea.
Yeah.
At right wing back. Do you know what I mean? Before that he couldn't get a sniff.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he fit into a system and he played well, but he's still not a right fullback. In his position you can't get a game. Do you know what I mean? So people gotta remember that. Like, there's systems, and yeah, fair enough, Livermore, cool, he did a job. But when you look at the players that can play in this position, he's not in the top 4.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So he can't go. Do you know what I mean? He only goes if there's injuries and stuff like that. He's in that position that Darren Bent was in.
Listen, there's still a couple months to go anyway, and injuries can come up anyway.
Yeah,
So who knows what's
absolutely.
gonna happen.
It's nice to know that he can do a job just in case.
Just in
Yeah,
case,
yeah. But invariably we go to tournaments and get found out. You know that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, friendlies are friendlies, tournaments are tournaments, and everybody's got to up their game. But including England as well. Do you know what I mean? They've got.
You said it. When England were playing Germany, the first 5 minutes, England unlocked the doors. But you said it to me, like, that's when they've got to score, because if they don't, they're going to get found out. What happened? Germany shut up shop, made a few changes, and we're back on the game.
Same thing in the Brazil game. I mean, they looked like they didn't really want to. They weren't as fluent in terms of passing the ball and didn't have as much possession. Obviously, didn't assert themselves on the game. It's Brazil. You know, Brazil were popping the ball about.
And that becomes a mental thing as well, isn't it? Because Loftus-Cheek, who was the hero on Friday night, got broken early against Brazil because the foot movement and everything else.
He couldn't keep up with it,
you know.
But that's levels.
Yeah,
that's levels.
It. There's levels to football.
You're going to meet those levels. Because don't forget, we got to talk about an England team that got beaten by Iceland, right?
Yeah.
And there are some bigger fish than Iceland, if you pardon the pun,
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at Denmark now. Denmark we don't have an Ericsson.
Yeah.
We don't have an Ericsson.
It's interesting
That's
listening to
it.
the Brazil
We got
manager
Jack and we got
after.
Dele.
He kind of rates the way that England set up and the way that they played. So it's always interesting to hear other perspectives.
I think England are always respected as a big team around the world.
Yeah.
The Three Lions, the Wembley thing.
And there's no
but in
merit
terms of
behind
results,
And he rated the defensive unit. As a unit,
Yeah,
when you
but-
set up as a defensive unit.
I mean, I'm a Tottenham supporter. Our success over the last 2-3 years, if you can call it success,
No, if you can.
if you can call it success, I'm
it's progress.
I'm
It's
conscious.
It's progress, and
Well done, though.
it's a lot.
I
It's a lot of
don't want people
progress.
to think I'm getting ahead of myself.
He said it.
I'm not. Right?
Progression. It's definitely.
It started from the back. Yeah, so I can't wrong Southgate for getting it right defensively before he starts to think about.
But
the
you
floor
have
up
to
top.
do that. I keep telling people.
You
At
have
the
to.
end of the day,
You have
like,
to. You have to show
people
up.
say to me, Like when they talk about United and that, they're like, oh, this, that, and parking, bus and that. Bro, you win leagues, your defence wins you leagues.
That's right.
Yeah.
All the time. Do you know what I mean? When we've got 11 out of 14 clean sheets and haven't conceded
Yeah,
at
you're gonna
home
be somewhere
in the
good.
league,
You're gonna be
You're
good.
gonna
You're
be
good.
you're
You're
going to
good.
win something,
In
man.
and around the
And
mix.
we saw it last night that coming out of defence 3 or 4 times, England got caught on the halfway line or halfway in their own
That
area.
move broke down.
On a different day, in tournament mentality football, you're going to get punished.
Yeah. That's
A Harry
levels.
Maguire, a Stones, they're going to get punished.
Because even when you look at Spurs, they've probably got, on paper, they've got the best back 5 in the Premier League, and they have done for like 2 or 3 years
Yeah.
now, which is why they're doing as well as
There
they
you
are.
go.
Do you know what I mean? Like
And then
if
Harry does
Aaron-
what he does at the
Harry
other
does
end.
what he does at the other end, but Harry wouldn't have the freedom to
If
do
you're
what he does at
conceding
the other
goals.
end if they were leaking goals, bruv. They wouldn't have
It
it.
wouldn't matter as much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wouldn't matter.
And in the same time, and we'll talk about it later, but in the same time, Arsenal always concede a goal.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
always.
Always, do you know what I mean? So that's the difference. You've got to lock up the shop first.
I thought a word on the 2 visiting teams, Brazil, Germany. Anything particularly impressive for
No.
anybody?
Nah, Brazil do what they always do, man. They got
that's-
very talented players. They always will have very talented players. Will they win the World Cup? Probably not, because Brazil lack balance, and they always have done. Do you know what I mean? And
Their form's been
the
good,
star
right?
quality that they
It's
use
massive.
they have is crazy. They can always win it.
I think that's what you said. What you said is key. They
Yeah.
lack balance, and
Yeah.
they always have done.
Yeah.
They just play.
They just play football and
Do you know
whatever
that was a
happens.
balance the Brazil side
yet,
has
you know
seen
what?
for a long
With
time.
the star quality that you're talking about, Coutinho, Firmino, all those names.
That's what I mean.
If they
Gabriel
get it right
Jesus,
in a 90
Neymar.
minutes, they will beat you.
That's
If
what
they get it
is,
right
yeah,
in the
that's
90
what it is.
minutes.
They just
But
play.
whether they can win 6 or 7 games in a tournament scenario different, and yet you talk about the other team, the Germans. Not as sexy, but they know how to
Yeah,
get
but that's
job
the
because
difference.
they get it
Germany
done.
are pragmatic. You see,
Yeah.
with Brazil,
Yeah.
they're very much it's like what I say about Pep. Like, if he has all the players that he wants and he plays his way, no matter what you do, you're probably going to lose. But if plan A doesn't work, he's in trouble.
got trouble.
And that's the thing with Brazil. If they keep knocking and the door doesn't come down, mate,
Same thing happened
they're in
in the
trouble.
last- same thing
Whereas
happened in the
Germany
last
can
World Cup.
switch it up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Sometimes they're more pragmatic. They can change their game to adapt to the opposition. They can stifle you. They can make it.
Yeah.
They can make it.
It's almost the
uncomfortable.
difference between Man City and Man United.
But that's exactly what
Makes
it is.
sense. So Man City are Brazil.
Over the league,
And
like
yeah.
Man City will probably win it. But in
There you
a
go.
cup game, you put your house on United because Jose
Absolutely.
will just find a way.
Yeah, he'll work it
Do you know
out.
what I mean?
Work it
And that's
out,
it in a
work it
one-off game. But over 36 games, do you know what I mean? It's a different ball game. But
Yeah.
in knockout competition, you only need to get it right once.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
it.
And look at that Portugal team that won the Euros. Wasn't the greatest team, but they won it.
They won
and
it,
I
man.
watched a lot of their games, and they were horrible games to watch. Trophy there. So,
That's it.
Okay, all right. That was the England games out of the way. Let's move on to the Premier League this weekend. Rodney,
yes, sir.
your time.
My time. Well, there's only
Predictions.
one game here, isn't there?
Both of you, really.
It's the lunchtime kickoff.
It's both of
It's,
you,
Ars-
really.
it's Arsenal.
Oh, it's the
versus-
derby, innit?
It's
Oi!
Arsenal Tottenham at the Emirates. And I know what you're going to ask me. And I'm going to say to you, I don't even know what's going to happen. If you had your last 10p, you'd probably have to say Tottenham based on form and the way that the progress that they've made. But it's a derby.
Yeah.
It's a derby.
No, I agree. It is a derby, and I
But
can't.
you're
agree.
confident for a change, aren't you?
I am confident. I am confident.
Quietly, though, scratching the
No,
tail,
I'm
like-
confident because I don't fear any team in this Premier League. I really don't. I don't think we should either. I think we can go to anybody and beat.
As you
anybody.
proved, your away
And
form is
we
fantastic.
can nick points anywhere. So
us.
Not our ass.
I mean,
I'm just saying, not our
I
ass.
mean, listen,
It's fair enough.
Can't argue
it
with
was a
that.
good game.
Not our ass.
We nearly nicked it.
No, not our ass.
No, you didn't.
No.
Nearly. I mean,
Tottenham ain't had
we
a
nearly
shot on,
gave it-
ain't
we
had a
nearly
shot
gave
on
it
target
away.
at Old Trafford for
You've
like
been
3
sitting on this
years.
for a couple of weeks.
3
Man's
years.
been sitting on this for a couple of weeks.
They might have had a shot on target in 3 years at Old Trafford.
It's the worst week this week, Campbell.
David De Gea is just making paper aeroplanes in
Anyway,
goal, bro. I'm telling you.
Stick to the London derby.
Hey, bro. Nah, bro.
There's no love
Not
in
a
the-
shot on target, mate.
We've been there and experienced that. We're going to the Emirates this weekend. Listen, we can win the game. It's a risk of the paper that separates the two
it's a
teams.
risk of the paper,
Arsenal,
fair
if Arsenal turn up and start in
And
the
I think
first
they
15
will,
minutes,
actually.
I don't know what's going to happen after
Yeah, no,
after the international break. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
I
the
just don't know what's
little
If it
conundrum.
had been no break and that
You
Arsenal
fancy
team-
yourself, wouldn't you?
Well, I'd say, boy, Arsenal.
Because you lot would have come off with
What I thought was
You don't
significant
know.
is all your senior England players pulled out with injury and couldn't quite make it.
So they're all going to turn up.
with an eye to.
They know what it means. Like, they know what it means. No one's not talking about.
If I'm honest, if you push me, I probably think it's going to be a draw because it's that sort of game. But
I think so too. But I think it depends on the team that Wenger puts out.
Yeah.
Because if Wenger gets it right, tactically, then I think Arsenal could win. But if he doesn't, like, it could be a long 90 minutes.
Yeah, could be
a long 90 minutes, man. If he silenced the crowd at the Emirates,
and the
it's
thing
all
is,
over.
Yeah.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
Even
more than it already is, bruv. Don't get it twisted. You know what I mean? But if they got nothing to sing about in the first 10 minutes, it's a problem.
But it'll be noisy on Saturday, trust me.
Yeah.
It'll be noisy on
One
Saturday.
afternoon is
No, the Emirates Library is normally quiet, but
when
not...
you come, it'll be noisy. When United come, it's noisy.
Yeah,
When Chelsea
it is.
come, it's noisy.
Yeah.
There's that atmosphere.
Maybe for 4 games it's noisy, but
Listen, that's the biggest game of the weekend. Any other fixtures you want to focus on?
not really. That's all that matters to me, man.
That's the one. Well, that will set the tone for the weekend. When it's the early,
Definitely.
it's the
And I'm
early.
seeing
Yeah, it's
that
the
on the evening
afternoon,
as well,
isn't it?
that's
Saturday
right.
afternoon kickoff. Yeah, that is
Lunchtime.
That either makes or breaks
It does,
weekends,
doesn't it?
man. I'm
Make
telling
up,
you.
yeah. If you win, the weekend's great.
Yeah.
Bouncing into Monday.
Say no more.
We'll call it in sick, bruv. One or the other, innit?
Someone won't be there. That's all
I
we know.
wanna stick on the theme of the Gooners, but I wanna change the sport because a man who supports Arsenal got knighted recently.
So Mo.
Man like
So
Mo
Mo
Mohamed,
Farah.
bro.
Yeah.
Mohammed, actually.
Yeah.
Call me Mohammed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, more than now than ever, they need to call him that.
That,
fam.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The most decorated British athlete ever.
Mm.
So yeah, the knighthood was
Long overdue.
Yeah.
I mentioned it a couple years ago. So, yeah, well deserved.
So
man.
we're all happy for him. Where does he go from here, Mike?
In terms of...
Because he said he's not necessarily focused on wearing a GB shirt again, which.
Don't know what that
Sorry to blow up your hustle, Mo.
Yeah, but
means
he was
he's
going to go
chasing
into
the dark.
marathons or
Right,
something
yeah.
like that.
That's
I
what he
don't
said.
know what
Yeah,
that means.
He's
Just saying.
it's just
saying.
it means, Mike, all he cares about is the check.
Yeah, he's going
I'll
in.
run if the check's right.
Yeah,
He also
absolutely.
Said, though, he also said that if I'm in shape Tokyo 2020, I want to do the marathon.
Yeah,
Or
that's what he wants to
so
do.
there's
the
a
marathon.
contradiction as well.
It's not really a contradiction. It's actually
just-
very shrewd.
Yeah.
It's what you would do, and what you would say if.
He's earned the right to make those decisions.
I agree,
now.
though.
That's
I
it.
mean, that's what I was ultimately.
Whatever he
gonna
wants to
come
do, he can do now.
Do it,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
He's earned the right.
I think the UK should support him no matter what he wants to do. And at the end of the day, if he does go to Tokyo and wins him a medal,
Then what do you say?
I mean, listen,
Good
we've
luck
been
for
very,
that
very
match.
fortunate to watch a lot of his stuff at the London Stadium. And I tell you what, when he did what he did in the way that he did it, makes a hair
Talking about
back
Super
in.
Saturday or
Super Saturday World Championships just
You know
gone.
what?
Just gone. Everything he's done.
Every year since what?
every
Yeah,
championship,
11,
really.
Yeah, 10, 11, 12. All the way
You know,
up. So,
to run 10,000 meters and invariably win, to then do a 5,000 meter heat, qualify for that, then win a 5,000.
you know what? Silly.
Fantastic.
What's the longest distance you ever run, Rance?
I don't know. I probably would have had to be on a football pitch. I don't run off it, mate. You know what I'm saying? I don't run off
You
it.
ain't done no 10,000 meters.
Absolutely
25
not.
laps.
25 laps.
What
on track.
10,000? What 10,000 meters? What 10k? You do that on a football pitch in 90 minutes. Yeah, you do
If
that
you
on a
do
football
your
pitch.
job
in
right.
You're a
90
serious player.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
for
do
sure,
that. Yeah,
bro.
you do that in 90 minutes, no problem. Do you know what I mean? You don't realize you're
Especially
doing
if
it. But
you
I wouldn't. When I used to run out, I never used to do more than about 8-9k. Do you know what I mean? That was it.
Well, this is a great segue into you, Rance, because a lot of people don't know that you play football.
Yeah.
They see you online, you know, having a go at the Conservatives back in Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah.
Slating,
I don't even really-
slating all, every other club apart from your
I
own
don't
in
even
the Premier
really.
League.
Nah, listen,
You know,
United
there's
have got it from me,
hold on
man.
a minute, right? Hold on a minute, right?
He's getting
Set the
shut
record
down.
Right,
straight.
all right, hold on. We see ya all over the place. Now,
Yeah.
you've got an event coming up on December the 10th.
Yeah.
Where you know you're going to be talking about all sorts. I'd imagine
Everything,
nothing off the table.
Everything. Anyone.
Is
can
it
get
an
bro.
over 18 event? Because we
absolutely.
know what your maths like.
Absolutely. That is definitely an over 18.
Tell us a little
bro.
bit about, for those who don't know that you play football, where did you play football? And just segue into
Everywhere, man. Like Fulham
yeah,
here.
man.
When I was younger, went abroad. I played in Sweden. Was the last place I played, which was sick. Man, I love Sweden. Great country,
Nice place.
nice
Very nice
people.
Yeah, definitely.
Like definitely, I definitely advise people to go over there, even if it's just to party, man. It's nice to party out there as well. It's just a really nice place.
You're
man.
young though. What happened? Why did you stop?
Just injuries, man. Like you never really recover from them. I had my first injury actually playing down the road from here in Stockwell with Fulham, like a bad injury at 15. And after that, it was just playing catch up. I was out for a year. Everyone's playing for contracts, and then you're just rushing. Do you know what I mean? Because here, if you're 18 and you're not you're not really knocking on the first team door. People disregard you, do you know what I mean? So I didn't rehab properly as well as I should have, rushing, trying to get back, thinking time's running out. And I just had little niggles ever since, so I haven't really been able to settle into it. And then I just got to the point where I'm like, how old was I? I was like 24, and I was like, forget this. No, I was like 23 actually, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I can't do this anymore. Do you know what I mean? I spend more time in the physio room than out there with the boys. Do you know what I mean? And it just gets annoying. Like it's you're just always in pre-season. You know what I mean? And it's just annoying. I'd come back. I remember in Sweden, I went there, scored in my home debut, scored in my away debut, then I was out for 3 weeks, and I was just like, oh my lord, like, and it was always something else. The first injury was a knee injury, but then after that, the groin was going, the quad was going, the hamstring was going, the calf was going. I was like, you know what, forget this.
It might be just soft. I'm
Nah.
joking. What? So basically, you decided to hang up your boots.
Yeah.
And then what? You found social networking?
No,
Or
you know
was it
what happened?
Because I know you was a PT. That's how I
Yeah.
found you. I was
Yeah,
watching you
because
and
what I
wanted to be
did
your PT
was,
first.
I was just like, cool, I'm not playing football no more. I love my health, my fitness. I want to stay active, and also I don't want to work for no one. So I was like, you know what, my own business, because I can't be told what to do, bro. So I was just like, all right, cool, start my own business. Did that. That was thriving anyway. And then the social media thing just happened by chance. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't something that I planned. And if I did plan it, it probably wouldn't have worked out as well as it did. Do you know what I mean?
That's how these
You
things
can
go,
plan too
though,
much
innit?
sometimes.
Yeah.
That's how these things
What
go.
position did you play?
Front.
Is that front?
You know what I'm saying?
Striker. What kind of striker?
Well, I like to come to feet, do you know what I mean? But you could do that in Sweden, it was great, do you know what I mean? But here, flipping
Yeah,
out,
coming
yeah.
out for a back.
Yeah. You do that here, the
You're
people
gonna
are
go
running
pitches to
through
play
you.
football.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
That's what I
Coming over
mean.
the top.
Yeah.
I remember I actually came back to England. It was funny, and I went to it would have been conference, to a conference team, because one of the managers that knew my old manager was down there. So I went down there in Essex. Oh, I remember I played a friendly with them. I scored here, but after that game, I was like, I can't play football here no more, especially not in the lower leagues. Coming short, right backs pinging it to the corner flag. And I was just looking at him. I'm not chasing it, bro. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the kind of guy, I'm not chasing it. Like, I don't know who that's for, but it's not for me, fam. 'Cause if I come short and I'm showing and you ping it over my head, I'm looking at you and asking you who that was for. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just what it was. You know what I mean? And it's cold as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So, in Sweden, they play a summer league. So, it's cool. Like, in the winter, it's too cold. It's all snowed over. So, like, you don't start playing till around March, April time anyway. So, you're playing through the summer. And you come here, playing in the cold. I mean, the ball's not coming. And when it's coming, it's getting pinged into the corner flag. No thanks. You know what I mean? I said, you know what? Can't do this, bruv.
Talk about your event on the 10th. What could people expect? I mean, it's your first one, right?
Yeah.
So this is your. I mean, what made you do this? Because I know you could have gone in any direction. You could have.
The reason why I did this is, well, a number of reasons. Like, I've had a good year, a very successful year, man. It's just a good way to close it. Do you know what I mean? It's a very good way to close it. I've got loads of mad things coming up next year. Do you know what I mean? Loads of big stuff that I can't really talk about. So it's just one of them things where I said, you know what, let me just close off the year a nice way. Loads of people keep messaging me saying, oh, you should do something live. Loads of people just want to meet me and whatever. They're like, oh, you should do like a live Q&A. You should do a live sit down or a meet and greet or whatever. So I said, you know what? I just throw everything in one. Do a live show. Talk about some stuff that I would have spoken about anyway. I'd probably put it in video form, but I'll just do it live. Do you know what I mean? Get a nice venue. People can have a few drinks and that. I've got a good DJ. It's just going to be a vibe, really. Like, just get to meet everyone. And me just do what I normally do. So
it's going to be interactive with the crowd. Can they fire questions and all the rest of
yeah,
it?
absolutely. So it's going to be completely, like, it's going to be nuts, man. It's going to be fun. And then next year, I'll be touring, but I'll be putting, I got some good ideas. I'm going to put something nice together and tour, because I've already got people screaming for me. Come to Birmingham, come to Manchester, go Bristol, go here, go everywhere. So it's just a case of, yeah, I'm going to have something nice put together for next year, and then yeah, man, UK's getting shut down next year.
Building the Ransom Bants brand, does it?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Well, good luck with that. Obviously we'll be in the house, both Michael and I.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, roll through, man.
Yeah.
We'll be down there supporting. I know the Voice is always supported, so we'll definitely be doing that. And hopefully you score You know, hit the back of the net.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that, brother. I have the
Not
Ray
like
nephew
Lukaku.
there, blood. You know them ones there.
Not like Lukaku.
What the Belgian record scorer at 24 years
I
old?
don't know,
Yeah,
bro, I
that
don't know
guy.
about- What was the record? What was the record before?
That guy.
What was the record before?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
How many's he got?
That guy's got 10 years left in the game.
You stay there. You
And
did
he's
that.
already
You was
there.
at the same age and dropped down.
Yeah, but but
You
boy,
never
if I
know.
was built like Lukaku, I'd have been fine. You know them ones there. You know them ones
And he
there.
doesn't chase balls down into the
That's
corner.
it.
Hey, listen, if he did, he might score a few more goals. Get that golden boot.
That's what Rashford is there for, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
mate, 'cause
it.
I know he wants that golden boot
That's
from
it.
one of our own. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but your one don't last the whole season.
Yeah,
So-
it's true.
And he's won the golden boot
That's
for
right,
the last
makes it even
two.
better.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And he's
Well,
won the
Melu-
golden boot.
Lukaku weren't at United, so now, you know.
Yeah, Rom's still gonna do the business.
I don't know what would happen if Rom.
Harry Kane, he's a stat padder, man. I
We
like
know he's
him.
not going to be
Hey,
there.
hold on,
I like Harry
I'm
Kane.
gonna stop you before you.
I like
before you
Harry
say
Kane,
something
but
out
he's a
of
stat
order.
padder.
He's a good player.
He's a top-notch player, but he's a stat padder. Like he won the Golden Boot last season because he scored 5 goals in the last 2 games, bro. Like you have to take that
Mental.
into account,
Take,
bro.
take the
Yeah,
last
like,
4 games.
You know what I'm saying?
Take the last 4 games into account. Trust me, it's mental.
You got to take it into
Whereas man like Rom, yeah, he'll get you the one every game, just one, but it's all right. But you just get the one. You just get the one. You just get the one, and that's it. It's consistency.
So we'll see what happens at the end of the season. We could talk about strikers all day long.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us. Thanks you guys for coming along and making it lively as usual. We'll be back next week with the Global Sport in Colour sports magazine show in association with the Voice newspaper. And pick up your voice, you know. We've got a great story on the back. We couldn't get a chance to chat about it today, but the BBC's African Footballer of the Year nominees have been announced. So get voting because it's a public thing. All right, some good nominees there. See you guys next week.